So y'all know y'all live with Snapchat Queen and AI chatbot friends. And it's New Year's, family. 2026. I hope you made it here. And if you didn't, I guess I won't be seeing you this year. But to those who did make it, congratulations. Happy New Year's. I hope we ain't get ready to start this New Year's off the same way we ended the last year. Because it's a whole different energy outside. People walking around like they got a weight on their shoulder, like they walking in guilt and shame. I mean, it's like it's a whole lot of guilt and shame this year that's outside floating around. I can't explain it, but I enjoy my New Year's. I enjoy myself, family. I mean, if you don't know how to enjoy yourself, that's a personal problem. There's nothing that you should be trying to look at somebody else's life, trying to figure out how they live in their life, to try to figure out how you can interfere with their life because you didn't do anything with your life. Now we're in a world where we finally come to the end of the Bible and Revelations, where we have what they call the beast system up and running. The beast system is just them immigrants who got in office, put a system together to follow our tax money, our federal dollar around, and go to war with it. Now, anytime you work for your money and they took out taxes for your money for you to get your stuff back, and people choose to hire themselves in jobs, because we're dealing with people who hire themselves in these jobs to go to war with America. Started calling themselves Democrats and fighting for black people. Now, what I'm interested in seeing come January when they do this civil rights movement is what they're going to be out here standing for. Because I've been showing y'all videos of everything that they had, and we clearly see them just sitting up, letting it be boarded up. We see roads that we gave them money to repair that's already cracking up before the project can even be completed. They go to school, get education, only to get jobs to follow you around to steal your money. Now we start in 2026 off already in that mindset. So that means you got to be able to adjust and adapt to those people in that state of mind. Because at this point in reality, they only after stealing and killing and stealing. They chose to be incompetent. Now, when you're dealing with a group of high-minded people who put themselves on drill, dropped out in middle school, their parents thought they were going to grow up to go to school to be doctors, nurses, and lawyers and things like that, but the kids totally had something different in mind. They literally chose to be incompetent and train themselves in jobs that they knew they was going to do to keep their incompetent state of mind to help them stay out of jail. Still help them get a disability check. That's why I said, why I can't get a retarded check? It's easy to be incompetent, stupid, and slow. And if that was a career choice, I should have picked that career choice and dropped out of school and did nothing with myself as well. And this is why your New Year's ain't New Year's in 2026, family. This is how long they literally been working on this plan, calling themselves a secret organization. And my background, because they knew that that bag was going to run out when them babies turned 22. It ran out at 21. That's when Jasmine popped out, going crazy. That's when all the Democrats popped out and started going crazy. And we like, baby, y'all selling y'all stuff. And then you got it boarded up sitting out. So what are y'all out here fighting for? What are you raising money for? And what are you going to war for when you tearing up your own stuff to wait for some more money? It's New Year's. And they got me surrounded with crackheads and AIDS patients. And fake police harassing me with an attitude. I guess this is what my year get ready to be like again. If you see my page, you clearly see they trying to make me something that I'm not. Following you around, trying to make, I don't know, it's like they said, the Truman Show. They trying to create an illusion by gang stalking, trying to put you in situations so they can sit back and make a movie out of it. This how sick these people done got in the future for stardom. And that's why I'm saying it's a whole different war out here on these streets than what the Democrats and Republicans is up there talking about when it comes to a civil rights movement. Them days been gone out here in these streets. These niggas willingly wanted to be incompetent to chase each other for a bag and be parts of cliques and gangs. They been tribed out. Down here, most of the gangs are gone. They renamed and new gang members here doing the same thing. Keeping the cycle going. Repeat and repeat. Choosing incompetence. And the people who willingly doing something, they go and tear them down because they choose to be incompetent. So if you're not incompetent with them, they got a problem with that because you're not incompetent. That means you're not retarded, stupid, or slow. You know how to think for yourself. And this is what we're dealing with in the state of mind of what this generation passed down to themselves chasing a bag. Money. With no skills. The elders talked about this. You're growing up with a generation who only see somebody else's money, not nothing that they using their skills to try to figure out how to put together, right? Just took a piece of wood as the broken glass I'm finding out here on the ground, right? Going beyond the piece of wood and the glass to create something, right? They can't get to that state of mind. They can't get there, but they go crazy at the store, at the folks who got to sit there and get there and make it for them, right? They go crazy when they get here, right? They go crazy when they get to this state right here. This state right here drive them crazy. I don't understand that, but they can't sit down and use their skills to make it, but they go crazy for it when they get to that state. This is the generation we dealing with outside, family. I mean, when they chose to just breed kids for a check, it became something different then. I seen people do all kind of crazy stuff for this right here. And then somebody hand it to them for them to do it while they sitting in the background watching a reaction off somebody else that they paying somebody this for in the background. And nowadays, they ain't even giving them this no more. They just giving them crack. Just giving them crack to follow you around to steal your stuff. I don't know what the future holds right now. And that's why I keep saying, I don't know what to tell these children With the grown folks won't even allow them to use their imagination because they even selling them bad glue. And that's why I've been prolonging on some of my projects, because I got to see how this glue hold. Because before you start working on stuff like this, to create stuff like this, you got to make sure that your product is worth selling. If it's going to hold, I wouldn't want to sell nobody these products, and then as soon as they get them home or something like that, they start falling apart. That's a bad product. But we in the world where people don't care about selling bad products as long as they got the dollar from it. And then they tell you they don't even want the money back after they knew they sold you bad product. They don't even want to refund it when they know they giving away bad products intentionally. And this is why it's sad, because you're dealing with people outside with that state of mind in 2026. And this is when you ask, what good are these colleges? What are they producing that's beneficial to America? And what are you dealing with these school systems that's beneficial to America besides training camps and breeding ground for them to gang up off each other? Teaching total different subjects in each class, because they don't teach the same subjects to each class, even in social studies, science, and math. Every class come in and get a different knowledge. That's why the after school programs are different. So when they join them after school programs, they section off and tribe out that way anyway. And branch out to the colleges and separate even more through the colleges, and then create war within each other through the college. So what are you producing in 2026 that's any good if everybody in competition and can't get past competition and the critique that's going to build them, as opposed to taking a critique and tearing it down? Somebody looking at saying, hey, I like how you did this. However, I think you can add this to it, add that to it, add that to it. I wouldn't have put that there. I would have put it over here. I mean, just to give you a different perspective of what it could look like in their brain. People can't handle that in the future because they not critiquing to improve you. They critiquing to tear you down because you can have a good product, but they want to find something in it to tear it down because they get off on it. This is what they're getting off on doing in the future. Then when they see somebody doing good with themselves, they only following you around to go steal it, to try to take you out so they can claim it as theirs. Now, I try to put together a couple of organizations, community things, right? Only to watch somebody in my background steal it from me while they act like they were working with me and try to make it like I ain't did nothing. And that's why I say, what do you do with it? Somebody in your background following you around to mess up your life, to interfere in your life because they chose to be incompetent and complete failures with their life by choice. And we are adults right now. This was something they started by choice when they were children. And as an adult, their mind never grew past it. Never wanted to grow past it. Made a lifestyle out of sitting around watching somebody to tear them down. It became a sickness. You know, I was Snapchat Queen, the AI chatbot friend, boy. I'm hoping we can get some adults outside again, because it seemed like everybody chose incompetent and follow your money with bad products in 2025. I feel sorry for the kids because they're not even able to use their mind and express who they are, because you got adults who never grew up, and they're... What do you do with that, family? This is Snapchat Queen wanting to ask, what do you do when you dealing with a bunch of people who chose to be incompetent by choice and made a lifestyle to follow somebody around, messing with their life because they chose to be complete failures with theirs. Even tear their own kids down if their kids choose not to be incompetent because they can't get a check off of it. And it's groups of them. What you do with it? Somebody talk to me. What do you do with it? I mean, when you're minding your business and they trying to stop you from taking care of your responsibility. Not because you out here not trying to take care of responsibility, but because they following you around so hard, they trying to predict where you go to make sure that they got somebody there to interfere with you taking care of responsibility that grown folks supposed to take care of, so they can say, oh, she outside homeless. And it's them putting themselves in jobs to make sure they can get away with it. Paying people in the background to follow you around. You wonder why shit crumbling in your life. Then when you get down to the nitty gritty, it go back to a life insurance policy the family got together and started killing themselves for. Don't even get along together for, and started following you around, harassing you your whole life to keep you in poverty because you was named in the will that you never got because they paid them in the background to keep it hidden. And now here it is, 2025. You telling them, baby, y'all been doing this to me my whole life. To this point, it done got sick and sad that your kids grew up to be incompetent for it. They chose to drop out of school and middle school for it. Started sleeping together and going in the background, making background deals on it, even taking out their own parents in the game. What you do with that? Somebody comment below and tell me, what do you do with that? When all this right here around you start because of money that somebody had to take care of you as a child, didn't take care of you as a child, wanting to put you in a Cinderella story and make your life a Cinderella story to the point where they really got you outside trying to make you have a rag to rich lifestyle off the money and the sick ass lifestyle they wanted. You clearly never wanted that lifestyle. You clearly built the way for yourself without that lifestyle. When you got 16, you got the hell away from them because they had that mentality then. And want to get away with it. Want you to forgive them for hate crimes against your life because they were jealous of you ever since you was a child. Got jobs to follow you around in groups because they hated you as a child. We ain't even gonna get to the raping my daughter part and harassing her in school, dropping her off at random bus stops through the school. And here I am, 44 years old, showing me a child that they stole from me on the internet to keep circling you around with a baby boy and a baby girl that they took. Harassed my daughter, kept her with me because they thought she was going to pass away in the hospital. She didn't pass away. They tried to cut me open. I mean, I'm cut everywhere you could think to be cut with medical records. And got the lawyer that was supposed to be on your side circling you around with a I'm on top of it great bus advertisement. With him sitting on the evidence. Like he said, he's on top of all the evidence and the records to prove your case. But he getting paid with the family just like they hired a girl that you went to school with, supposed to be your best friend, to work at a lawyer office and the courthouse to change your records your whole life. Making sure they always got somebody in the military around me. My whole life. Got so sick at it. You're bringing boyfriends in my life. Then when I'm asking them how they know certain people, they lying to you. So you play a fool just to see how deep these niggas gonna go. And here it is, 44 years later. You don't see nobody. Then when you do see them, they only coming around to see if the poison working that they got other folks putting in you. Only wanting to come around to see if they drove you crazy yet. And mad when you say, baby, the family fighting again. When is y'all gonna stop passing this goddamn bag around and killing each other because half of you gone? They don't get along, go to family reunions or none of that. The only time they invite me to a party or a cookout or a family reunion to let me know which family passing the bag around, which one won this year. This how sick they done got in it. What you do with that? You can't call the police because they hired themselves in the police department. Can't use the judicial system at all. Because it's only there to create a law to have you locked up so they can continue on with a sick-ass game they started in 1988. And the grave just now popping up at the graveyard in the spot you know it ain't supposed to be in. What you do with that? Then when you protect yourself, they want to lock you up because you refuse to let them kill you so they can continue with this sick shit they got passing it around the world. I ain't never been around no damn world, never left America. And if I did, it was when they dropped me off as a child and started this sick ass game. I don't got no baby pictures of me. But that one baby picture when I had on the daggone Santa coat, all my daughter baby pictures got missing from my sister's house. Or when they put me out of my house to get all my personal information and steal all my pictures and stuff. My ultrasound pictures disappeared, where it clearly showed a pussy and a dick of a boy and a girl, excuse my language. But those are the two body parts that they showed because I started buying little boy clothes, then they told me it was a little girl. Now, how the ultrasound pictures disappear, the baby pictures are disappearing. And then they always made sure that when they took a picture with Pressure, they always took a picture with a little boy. Made it seem like he was my nephew, DeAndre. This how sick of a mind game these people started playing, stealing people kids, using the high schools, the colleges to recruit themselves in these nursing programs, to follow you around, track your pregnancy out, to steal your daggone baby through the hospital. That's why they keep changing up the hospital down here, covering up their trail through the hospitals. Now, anytime the local city disappear and the town become a college infestation and hospital infestation, it's a problem here. When the hospital done grew past the local community, the college where they recruit outsiders come in and they recruited over the local community to build a hospital after they got the whole community sick. That's why I say when I moved away and I come back to this town, I barely know anybody. Everybody looking different and sick. And everybody on dialysis. Or got cancer. When you come back to a town and the college The university, not the community college, but the university where they got the exchange students coming in, that came in and got more jobs and took over the community, done tore the community down and used the infrastructure money. Y'all go look at the 252 plan and the 287 plan. They've been working on this plan to turn North Carolina into New York for a while, about hiring themselves in our government by going back and forth from North Carolina to New York. This is what they call a city takeover. This is what they call this is larger than a city at this point. It's called a state takeover because they done rush multiple people from multiple states to come here, get into these jobs. That's why they call it the DEI, or whatever they call that program, where they try to use civil rights to get into your jobs, follow you around, track you out, harass you in groups. And that's why they tracking us, following you in groups, harassing you, tearing up your stuff, trying to wear your body out so they can replace you with a social security number. This is why the funeral homes, the government, and none of that is linked together. My storage running out. I'll be back, y'all, because they know I'm talking some shit now. That shit ain't linked together. That's why I'm still following our money, baby. You live with Snapchat Queen, the AI chatbot friends. We'll be back.